it feels really good to judge people in the moment, right? You feel superior to them. You feel good, and honestly, it's one of the pleasures, maybe guilty pleasures of life that we all indulge in from time to time. And one of the really bad habits I have, and I think this has been ingrained for me since primary school, is that I used to love judging fat people. And it always gave me a sense of importance, I guess, or superiority that, I was taking care of my body and that, I was doing better than them. Right? So, it always happened whereby a fat dude would walk past, me and my friends, then I would like nudge my friend, and then we'll look at the guy, and then we'll break into laughter or some shit. We'll look at each other for a second and then break into laughter, right? Or sometimes, when we're walking past, when we're walking together, right, on the streets, and we see like a fat woman or something, or a fat man, we'll just say like 10 out of 10, and then I'll say 10 seconds away from a heart attack, and then we say like 10 elixir or some shit like that. It's pretty mean, right? And many people have told me that it's mean and I shouldn't judge fat people, and I've always dismissed them because I thought, it's just judging, right? What the fuck can go wrong? And bro, I still remember this so clearly. Every time, I sit the MRT to go to school, like once in a while, there are always these massive fat fucks that enter the train, right? It's just like it's going to happen, right? It's like unavoidable. And when that happens, instantly, right, I judge them. It's like so fast, and it's like subconscious as well. And when I get to like Bishan, let's say in the morning, because I used to go to Bishan, the KFC there in the morning, to do work because I didn't find a better place until now. Right now, I have like a much better place to work at. Still at Bishan, but you know, I'll be at the KFC at like 7 a.m. Doing work there. We're waiting for like 30 minutes before I need to rush off to school. And then every once in a while, there'd be like massive fat fucks walking in as well. And bro, their tits are literally like sticking out of their shirt, bro. And their belly is like so huge. And they're still eating Macs at like KFC in the morning. Like, more power to them, honestly. But at that time, right, a thought always pops in my mind. It's like, how the fuck can you let yourself become like that, right? How can you just, give up on yourself and have such low standards for yourself, right? And then I'll be like, I'll never be like them, right? I'll work out, I'll never be like them, you know, I'm shredded, I'm fit, all of that. And then you feel good in the moment. Now, here's what I think that's actually stopping me from being successful or getting rich. It's whenever you judge someone, right? You project your own beliefs onto them. So, for instance, when I judge a fat person, I instantly categorize fat as something that's bad and fit as something that's good, and all the traits that come along with it as well. For instance, if to become fat, you need to be lazy, you need to be eating KFC in the morning, right? You need to not give a shit about your body, right? And that to me, when I judge the person, that to me becomes bad, becomes something that I'm not supposed to do. Now, the problem with that is that immediately casts a mirror in front of me. So every time you judge someone, just imagine that, a mirror instantly springs right in front of you. And it doesn't mean that you need to say it out loud, because you can judge in your head as well, which a lot of girls fucking do. But you cast a mirror in front of you, which means that you lock away that behavior, because whenever you want to do the same thing, you can't do it, like you're fucked. So for instance, going back to the fat example, when it's time for me to be lazy, because I need to take a break, or not, you burn out, right? You burn yourself out. For instance, when I'm overseas and I need to take a break, I need to be lazy, right? In order for me to recharge my batteries so that when I come back, I can work again. I can't do that. Why? Because I polarized myself to think that being fat is bad. Being lazy is bad. It's horrible. And so by judging someone, you can't do that thing. And to give you an example to make this more concrete, right? You can literally see this in yourself. If you constantly judge people who study a lot and they're like nerds, and they're like, okay, to be fair, some people are like taking it way too far. But if you judge them a lot and you say that, bro, they're such a nerd, but I'll never do that, I'll never mug like this guy. When it's time for you to mug, let's say for A levels, you'll find that it's much harder for you to do it because you have judged the person and you've casted a mirror right in front of yourself. If let's say you judge people who talk a lot to girls, and they co-approach and shit, and you say that, bro, that's so cringy, that's so desperate, I'll never do that, you'll find that it's very, very hard for you to talk to girls or to co-approach people because you've judged that person for doing it, right? It's sort of like the karma thing when people say, what goes around will come around. And that's kind of true, right? So that's a very, very important thing that I've noticed happen in my life a lot. So right now, whenever I notice a fat person, sometimes, I'm human, so sometimes it still happens, I judge. But instantly I'm like, okay, I don't care. I don't care. It's not good or bad, it just is, right? I don't care whether you're fat. I don't care whether, you have like a shitload of tattoos on you. I don't care that you're doing this, you're doing that. It just is. And so what that allows me to do is I can access different behaviors that, might be beneficial for me to achieve my goal. So right now I can be lazy as fuck, and I can also be hardworking as fuck. Right now I can be rebellious as fuck, I also can be obedient as fuck. Right? Basically I'm like non-binary. There's many different states that I can access. And it has made things so much easier for me when it has come to, achieving my goals. Because one of the identities that I had, or like another example of how I used to judge people, is when someone is like really bad and rebellious, right, in school. And, they just fool around in school, they fuck around, they're like a massive troller. I used to judge that kind of people a little. But right now I need to assume that identity, right? Because school is no longer beneficial for me to move me closer to my goal. And so ideally what my behavior should look like is what their behavior looks like in school. But because I've judged them previously, it's pretty hard for me to unlock that behavior. But luckily, because I understand this right now, I have the awareness, right? I'm able to really destroy that mirror that has been in front of me, and that comes by not judging them and taking the action and acting out the right beliefs as well. So that's been something that's been really useful. So bro, if you want to be successful, stop judging fat people. In fact, stop judging anyone at all, right? Just accept them for who they are, because it's so much easier to change yourself than to change someone, and you know that as well. It's probably fucking useless to change someone unless you really, really love them and, you think that it's worth the effort. But don't judge people, bro. You're gonna regret it and it's not worth it.